has sprung, and what a beautiful way to welcome it than with colorful flowers. My name is Kule Molebati. Welcome to Stories Untold. Give Fatima a bunch of flowers and she multiplies them into colorful creations that adds color to the people around her. Through her work as a florist, she has empowered the lives of young people in her community. This is where her story begins.
To many, this is just a small business corner with entrepreneurs trying their luck in Sandton. The flower gazebo does not go without any notice, and in there is a vibrant lady that loves flowers, but more so has a heart to help others.
I grew up in Cape Town, in a flower family, weird enough. My grandparents on my mother's side and father's side were selling flowers. So from the age of 5, 6, I was already watching how my dad and my mom would load up when they load the bakkie from the house, because if you're a flower seller back in those days, everything comes home and then next morning you start again. So it was helping load up and load off from small, and then primary school, after school, we used to go cut flowers like narcissus and stuff like that and take it to Adley Street Flower Market, where my mom would sell it.
She formed her first friendship through the scent and vibrant colors of flowers.
I would say 13, 14. I started after school selling flowers in Cape Town, in the city itself, for going from shop to shop. So you'd have a Friday afternoon in your school uniform, you'd go from shop to shop selling flowers to actually help your mom sell her stock. And from there, 16 years old, I started selling at nightclubs. So now I'm doing my own business because I'm taking like 100 Rand or 80 Rand, buying some flowers. And then that's how I started seeing that there is actually a living in it, you know. At the age of 17, I fell pregnant with my first child, got married, and yeah.
Her mother made a living from selling, and that gave her a solid love for all plants.
Growing up and being around flowers, automatically the love was there. And from the age of around 19 years old, you're already assisting, trying to help mom, because she was a single parent raising 9 children. So my love for flowers was always there. There was never a time that I think I'll be a doctor, because I love numbers and I love flowers. So it was a done deal for me.
Finishing school in Cape Town and now aspiring for a different market, Fatima made her big move to Johannesburg.
I have I've got 5 daughters and 1 son. And in 1999, my son moved to Joburg with my older brother. And it was me coming to visit him for the visiting my son now for the December period. And I never went back. Because for me, Gauteng was the city of gold, you know, and I just felt like home as long as I have my kids all with me, you know. When one's out of the coop, you don't feel.
Doing nothing but what she knew, she started her own flower shop. The cycle repeated itself as she brought up her own 6 children with the money she made from the flower shop.
My son started at the age of 13, 14 as well. Then he felt that he could bring more home instead of finishing school, because I was one working. And he wanted to actually make my life a little bit easier, supporting his sisters and stuff like that. So that's that. My daughters though, on big days like Valentine's, Secretary's Day, Spring Day, any day, they were the cashiers. You know, we put them behind the till and you tell them, okay, you take all the money, we'll do the mixed punches, like you'll meet my daughter Khadija now. She exceeded a little bit more than Aisha and Juleika into the floristry side of things, because my 2 youngest one are what we call the cool girls. They are my nails, you know, but if you're a flower person, your hands are going to get dirty. You're going to have to actually be physical with it. So Aisha and Julekha likes the financial part of it, but not the floristry part of it.
With everyone smelling the roses and the lilies, Fatima's children also followed suit in loving flowers.
Welcome back to Stories Untold. Today we document the colorful story of Fatima Williams. Her passion for young people has empowered the youth that she has employed through her flower business. Let's have a look at her story.
To some, flowers belong in the garden, but for Fatima, her 6 children and 12 grandchildren, flowers belong in people's hands. Fatima lost her job due to COVID-19, and today she has found her corner in Parkmore, where she does what she absolutely loves, and that is putting a smile on her customers' faces.
I used to do the field market at Parkmore, which is a flea market, because I was working for a company called Untold up until recently. And always weekends did the flea market. So, well, two of my clients actually contacted me and said, Fatima, please come strike a pose on this corner here, because why? We need some cheer up in this lockdown, because while we're locked up and we haven't even done anything yet and there's nothing pretty to look at. So I said, as soon as level 3, as soon as the flower market opens up, I'll be there. I'll come stand on this corner exactly. And I can honestly tell you, the community, I think they have given me that extra boost to try and uplift other people's lives.
Besides her children, she has been on a mission to helping young boys on the streets and around her community.
With the COVID-19 kicking in, and even before that, I always looked for people that was looking for a weekly job or something, because why? I tend to run around a lot, and I can't be there myself. So I decided, okay, take somebody off the street, give them a purposeful living, because they're on the street because they lost their oomph. They've just given up hope. So try and inspire the next person, you know. Try and help somewhere else as well, because why? You get, if you give, you receive, something like that, you know. So it's always been there, it's been within. So,
having completed only his high school, Asha has a 2-year-old daughter and a girlfriend that depend solely on him.
Life before I met my Fatima wasn't very difficult for me, but was actually difficult in a way, because why? I never had a job, recently finished my schooling, so she basically just came through for me in a way of making me support my family at home, my little one, my daughter. So she just came through during the COVID-19 and just blessed me with a small job, help her with flowers, you know, bring in an income. And yeah, that's about it. But more to say to that is that before starting here at my Fatima's flower market, as you can see, I was on the street hustling, gambling, doing anything to try and get an income just to support back home. I'm employed here to set up every morning, take out flowers, pack flowers back, serve customers. My duty is to cut wood, water my plants, make sure everything has shade. Yeah, and that's about it.
It's not only Asha that fell on the bed of roses. Eastern Cape-born and aspiring musician was homeless when Fatima gave him a safe haven.
It was hard, my sister. It was hard, Kakul. I don't want to lie. Yeah, she really helped me a lot. Even now, I'm just feeling too blessed. You know, it's hard to believe. I was struggling with food because obvious the corona thing. You know, it was hard. I currently stay with my friend, so yeah, we were trying to get some rent money happening, and yeah, it was really tough. We help her with the sales when she's not around, obvious, because she's a busy woman. So yeah, we take care of the place too. We clean the park. as well. Yeah, stuff like that.
Ricardo's prayers were also answered when he came across Fatima and she invested on his firewood.
Oh, I met Fatima through looking for work. You know, in the time I was looking for work, Fatima was there. And I was always asking God for me to work with flowers. I'm a green type of person. I like to plant, you know. And when she said she's working with flowers, it was like a calling for me again, you know. I was like, yo, flowers. I don't know nothing about flowers, but it's what me ask for again, you know, in my prayer. So that's how me and my Fatima met, through I wanting to work with greenery, you know, with own a lot of plants. And this is how I met Fatima by the market. Yo, she's a goddess. She's sent from God. She's an angel, you know, and enough love and respect to that, for that.
Fatima inherited her gift of love from her own mother.
A lot from my mom, because my mom was raising 9 children. My father's got 20-something children, but all those other siblings, my mother would be the sole provider, and if one of the parents, the mothers of the other children, would need something, she would take a slice of 2 slices of the bread that she bought. You know, those things. She would always, and that's where I saw it. Because while a normal person, or I think anybody would ask, why you're working so hard, but you still find it within you to give somewhere else. And I think that's, my mom is my big inspiration for that, because why she's Mother Teresa with exclamation marks.
Welcome back to the show. As we head towards the end of our program today, we talk future plans with Fatima, and we look at just how much color she has added to everyone around her. Let's have a look.
From Cape Town markets as a child to Fourways Farmers Market in Johannesburg, Fatima's flower business has been blossoming. This is how a typical morning of sourcing starts for the tenacious woman.
As siblings, we grew up. We always said, our mom used to work so hard and never owned her own house. So we were going to work together, the 4 elders, which was my oldest brother Irfan, my sister Faldila, me, and then my brother beneath me, which is Abdurrahman. So the 4 of us started a company called Family Flowers, which is also why I came to Johannesburg, because why Family Flowers opened up in Gauteng. We opened up a shop in Multiflora. And this is where I learned floristry. And I have my brother to thank, my firstborn brother to thank for my floristry skills, because why he wanted to enroll me in a floristry school, but the waiting list was too long. So he took pictures, and I had a full flower shop to get him that look by the end of the day. So I literally learned my floristry skills from pictures. This is the picture, a picture, not even the real thing. And that's where I played whole day, and I started, okay, now I can do this closed eyes. And then that's how I got into floristry. I mean, now I've got people like wedding coordinators, funeral parlors and stuff like that. They phone me and say, Fatima, we need this picture. They send me photos of, this is the mock-ups that we're doing. Can you please come out, do the mock-up for our clients? And then I come in as a assistant to the deco company or whatever, and I do the arrangements, and if the customer's happy, we go forward, and most of the times they're on point, so yeah.
On a mission to change the world one flower at a time, her daughter says her mother's smile and legacy is going to continue for more generations to come.
I started at the age of 16. I always grew up in my mother's flower shop. She had about 3 of them. And we used to go to work. After school, we'd go there and she would teach us how to make bunches, and we serve customers. That's how we grew up. And we grew up next to the flower market. And that's where she passed the work there till she got her own flower shops, and then she kept on expanding, she and my father. And then we grew with it. I was actually fed up with flowers, seeing it all the time, and I'm allergic to it. So I was like, I don't want to deal with flowers, that's not me. But then when I met Jonathan, he also didn't know that about flowers, and then when he came to the family, they taught him, and then he fell in love with it, and now that's what we started doing. The reason why we're also doing this, the name of our store is Fatima's Flowers, and the reason being is because when she is gone, we would like to carry on, so people can remember her. Yes.
I met Fatima about 5 years ago. I'm a son-in-law, and she's a very good woman. She's good-hearted, and she's always there to help and assist where she can. And she's always willing to give, even if it's a last, you understand. And she's taught me a lot. She's taught me how to be a better person and a better father for my children. And she's taught me how to go forth and how to go about things as in business-minded. And yeah, her legacy is passed down now to me, and obviously I'll pass it down to my children.
And some of her regular customers were not too shy to talk about their best ever smiling florist.
Yeah, she's been here for the last couple of months, so I like to support small business, and she's just an absolute pleasure to work with, and every time I come here she's always got a smile on her face and always happy to help out, and yeah, those are the type of people I like to work with.
We met here at Multiflora. I used to help her, but I was working for Multiflora permanently by that time. So she was just an open person. Then I knew her, and then I stayed with her. I was renting at her place for 5 years. She's a very, very good woman. Ke motho a good, and then ke motsibile a reka di flower, and una na le flower shop ko auctioning ko una le mall ko tlase, una sebetsa mo. I used to ke sebetse le ena. Ona mpatala hantle, like after like ka weekend ke sebetsa le ena, and then ka dula le ena. She loves flowers. Ko family high, like family high kaofela ke batho ba sebetsang ka di flowers. It's like o holetse ko family ya di flowers. Le bana ba hae bana le business ya di flower, bo anke le ba hae le bo di ba hae ko Cape Town. Ke motho o nrutile respect, and o nrutile hore it's not about hore o le khoa o le khalati hore o belivela kae. So ke motho le hore o welcome everyone, and le na o nthusitse ke le so personally, because ne ke na le hore nakong ha ke na tšhelete o patala rent o na kgona o understand, because wa tseba gore me re sebetsang teng ha re gole ha kalo bateng le motho le o kgona o assista, even if ka di Sundays o thola hore ba phile dijo ko ntlong ya hae le bana ba hae. I was part of the family, me ke ja le bona.
Fatima's philosophy is to give, and in turn, she gets more than she expects.
When I first opened up there with the COVID-19, it was just me and Fire, and I noticed that there's guys laying around or sitting on the robots begging, and I looked, and by the third day I said, don't you want to help me pack up or do something, and I can pay you. And that's how it started, small steps. And then I started interacting with him. Okay, from where are you and what? And then I said, okay, let me do this for you. If you're willing to actually uplift yourself in that situation. The day you sit on the grass and lay in the sun, you can actually learn something and take it forward, and you can grow from there. And from there, I started seeing that before I even get to the corner, they're there already, you know? Then I started asking them, okay, so clearly you don't have homes. I'm willing to actually walk the walk with you if you guys actually pay attention. Let's do this, and I'll pay you on top of it, so it's like a job, so you don't feel that you are doing it for free or anything like that.
With anyone that comes to her for help, she gives the little that she has, and now the boys are willing to carry on the legacy of Fatima Williams Flowers.
Batho ba ngata ba tlo mopola ka support ba fileng yona ka lerato ba fileng lona, because le bana ba like different people na ba tla mo jareteng e sa ba tsebeng batho na kgona ba introduce ko na ba jwetsa no hona le motho so a tlo dula le rona for a certain time a mo fa plek or a dule, and then a motho a sa le settle the al sharp, and then wa kgona go tsama. I think batho ba tlo mopola ka ntho tse ntle tsa ba itseng so.
I see myself running my own flower market and flower business, because she's learning me very much about flowers. I know more about plants, flowers that I never knew before. I know more about them now. I can tell you names that I never ever knew before. So yeah, in a few years from now, I see myself having to run my own business as hers.
yo, anything is possible, you know. Anything is possible. The sky is the limit, you know. And be yourself, love yourself, you know, and then anything will follow. Know yourself, and the rest will follow, you know. Like I wanted to plant, but now I can do arrangements, you know. And it's so transforming if you see yourself doing something beautiful, you know. And that is the most inspiration thing that I take from this, you know, because I always see myself as just one person, but with flowers I see myself as a multiple person that can do a lot of things, you know, beautiful things.
Yeah, that's the plan in the future. I think I might open up my own flower shop with the help of her, of course. Yeah, she'll mentor me, show me here and there what to do. Yeah, she's too lovely. This woman, she's too lovely. Yeah, everyone in Sandton knows her. She's good with the customers, you know. She knows how to communicate and stuff like that. She's very good at socializing, you know. And yeah, she tries to show us here and there how to, you know, sell. You know, she has tricks on how to sell the flowers, you know. Yeah, so yeah, she's really good at socializing with people.
Fatima Williams has proven that you don't need much to have much, and Stories Untold has walked in a valley of lilies this week only because of you.
Here you go, my darling. Thank you so much, Fatima. That was truly inspirational and so fitting for the month of September, as it is indeed Spring Month, but also September is Heritage Month here in South Africa. And I'm going to bid you farewell the best way I know how with this beautiful King Proteus from myself, Pule Mulebati, and the rest of the team. Have a good one.